Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Game of Thrones Epic Pre-Show for Season 2, Episode 8, The Prince of Winterfell. I'm Curtis Hollister.
And I'm Sheldon McGilvery.
While you're waiting to watch the next episode of Game of Thrones, we've got a live interview with Kristian Nairn, the actor playing Hodor. Plus, more great show analysis and dialogue about one of the coolest shows on HBO. To get all of our past episodes, you can visit GameOfThronesTV.tumblr.com and follow us on Twitter at SocialPixelsTV.
So without further ado, let's get started rocking the Velvet Ether with Kristian Nairn, the actor playing Hodor. He's joining us live from Dublin on the phone.
Kristian, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome, Kristian. Thanks for being here. This is awesome.
No worries, no problem.
We wanted to kind of begin here with we call it tapestry, just a little bit about Kristian Nairn. Obviously, you have a major influence on the role of Hodor, so we'll start there. I know that you are a strapping young 37-year-old, 36-year-old? 36-year-old.
36, yeah.
Yeah,
born in got it in the end, yeah.
Born in 1975 in a suburb of Dublin. Strong
No.
Irish. Not at all?
That's wrong. I'm going to have to correct you. I'm in Belfast, not Dublin. But
Belfast.
You're
Okay, I
100 miles
understood it was a
out.
suburb. Okay. And what's that been like?
Sorry?
What's that been like growing up there? How's that?
Oh, no, it's been great. Obviously, Belfast has a history of trouble and violence and stuff, but obviously in the last 15 odd years, it's really changed. Belfast is a very up-and-coming, beautiful city now. It's very, I'm very proud of it. Obviously now it has a booming film and TV industry, helped not in small part by Game of Thrones. But yeah, it's a very beautiful country, to be honest. It would be influential in how I grew up. Being a very small country, you can live in the city and have access to the country within minutes, that sort of thing. It's definitely a very cool place to have grown up.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, obviously, your life has changed. You're a DJ. I mean, that's your kind of your job, effectively. Is that
Yeah.
you are playing at which nightclub is it throughout the week?
Kremlin.
At Kremlin.
Kremlin. Yeah. I've been there for 13 years.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's a lot of longevity for a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool club. It's sort of evolved over the years, as have I, with the change in music scenes. But yeah, I still enjoy it very much. I could always see myself DJing in some aspect or some regard, but I definitely have taken a liking to the acting and showbiz side of it. But there always was that side to my life anyway. It's not as if DJing was the only thing. I've always been a performer in some aspect.
Are you referring there to what you used to do? I think you mentioned you used to write and produce. You still write and produce, but used to perform live instrumentally?
Yeah, instrumentally, vocally, a bit of character work as well.
Right.
So
yeah,
but it was all live stuff, as I say. Any TV or on camera stuff was it wouldn't have been character. It would have been just as myself, which is kind of different.
Yeah. Just having heard you mention in the past that you had, I don't know if I don't want to say full deafness as a child or when you were young or partial deafness, but you mentioned that it kind of contributed to like a sixth sense, which I have dubbed body language reading, and that you've kind of begun to channel that sort of that sense now into the character of Hodor. I think that's remarkably insightful. It's very much like method acting. I assume that's what it is. Can you talk a little bit more about the influence of that part of your childhood and on Hodor and on?
The way I sort of stumbled into acting, as you know, and it seems that there's a few methods of acting, and without knowing it, I've been sort of almost to the letter been doing the Meisner technique. I've now had some coaching in Meisner, and really. I got some really good feedback from some of the top coaches and stuff, where the way I learned to communicate and the way I learned to read people and mirror people, that's very Meisner. Basically I was really told I didn't have much to learn, so that was very flattering, and also was a huge boost for my confidence, to be honest, being a new actor, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
you stepped out to bat. You hit a home run on your first at bat. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just do what I do, man. You know what I mean? I didn't know if I was doing it right or doing it wrong. HBO is they don't give you strict direction. They know exactly what you want from the scene, but you really need to know what you're doing. So they're not going to say, okay, we want you to do it like this.
I heard you.
That doesn't happen. It does not happen like that, unfortunately. But maybe it's a good thing. Well, it obviously is a good thing. But yeah, I had partial deafness as a kid, and I used to sit in school, wouldn't be able to hear the teacher and stuff. I don't think people were as aware in those days. And I had a stack of operations on my ears and ENT system, and thank God it got sorted out.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, you know, I just thought about this actually. A bit of a revelation. I used to read tarot cards when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
And
some psychic ability.
You know, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I sort of realized that I don't really believe in that anymore, but it was just reading the person sitting opposite you, and you're sitting reading their body language, and you'll say something, and you'll see how they react, and then as soon as I realized what I was doing, I stopped doing it because I thought it was a con then.
Not as genuine as you wanted. You had some other skills to come into play. Yeah.
So obviously you've become through the HBO show a household name within the UK and North America for that matter, globally. You know, how has your life changed since this all happened?
Well, it's not so much in the UK. I get a lot more recognition when I go overseas, and that's been a good transitional process because I can hear. No one knows who I am, well, apart from the locals, really. But I can go to the store and no one ever said anything to me. It has happened, but very rarely, because it's on a channel here. It's a great channel, Sky Atlantic, but the problem is it's a satellite channel, and not everyone has it.
You might find yourself back in Ireland for some peace and quiet.
Sorry?
You might find yourself back in Ireland for some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
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 Well, it's nice that home can remain that.
But going to LA and stuff is a bit of a reality check, and going to the conventions, and it's crazy, man. Yeah. Honestly, the reaction you've had, the reaction I've had, I can only speak for myself, but it's been phenomenal. And Game of Thrones fans in general, being a geek and being a fan myself, I know what other fans can be like. But Game of Thrones fans are very respectful, and they're so into the characters and stuff, and they always have such relevant questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, so that's a perfect segue, really, in kind of the books. Like you've read 2 or 3 of the books so far.
Well,
or have you read all of them and are just not saying?
I haven't read any of them. I started off saying I'd read 1. And then I said I'd read 2. I lied. That was a lie.
So you heard it here first.
And then I just said, F it. I haven't read any of them.
I even heard you're going to keep 1 book ahead of the season. Yeah.
No, I was going to read it afterwards because I'm actually a fan of not knowing what's going to happen to your character, but I know what's going to happen to my character, unfortunately. So, yeah. My mother is a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Okay, so I was going to ask you if you're a book purist or you like some of these changes that are happening to the storyline.
No, man, I'm usually the kind of guy. It's like, I can't be bothered with this. I'm going to wait till it comes out on TV or the movie. But unfortunately,
I think that's a lot of people, though. Yeah. I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah, who has the time? You know what I mean?
Well, and also too, just that.
I read a lot when I was a kid, which is good because obviously it's important for your vocab and stuff. I was a chronic reader when I was a kid, but. I don't know what happens.
So, I mean, talking about Bran and his relationship with Hodor. I mean, obviously, Bran has had he's been effectively paralyzed from the waist down. If we're asking kind of like some of these like storyline deep questions or arguably deep questions, in the absence of a Hodor or a Hodor-like character, how does Bran's storyline? Does it just stop? Is he just like a non-character all of a sudden without Hodor?
Well, I don't really see how he could really exist without turning into some sort of golem sort of creature or maybe some sort of wolf rider. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You can maybe train Summer. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think the Bran and Hodor character arc was always going to be fused together. I don't think one can really exist without the other. Yeah,
there is a symbiosis, isn't there? Like, I mean, even though Bran does have the capabilities that he has, it's not in the absence of Hodor.
Sure, that becomes, well, obviously I haven't read the books, but are we allowed to say spoilers in this show? No, we're not, are we?
Well, we were hoping we could stay true to our
Avoid them.
We pledged to the fans we wouldn't spoil.
But his capabilities.
Okay, well then I'll be quiet then.
Yeah,
especially coming from someone who hasn't read a book.
Yeah,
that's a bit rich.
I think you've kind of really added though that a good point that right now, I mean, you guys coexist in symbiosis. I mean, you can't have one without the other. And
I think that will well, obviously in the show.
Yeah.
We don't really know what's happened to Bran yet.
Yeah. There's a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want suspense. So that's it's great.
So I mean, another element is kind of some of the actors that you've had this opportunity to be with, and I'm guessing that you were around with Sean Bean and all these guys in there, these scenes in Winterfell. Which one of these actors is most like their character? If you were to pick one of them.
One comes straight to mind, Alfie.
Oh, okay. Theon.
Theon Greyjoy.
Maybe without the rampant douchebaggery, but
yeah.
Alfie is a lovable rogue. You know what I mean? And I think that sums Theon up with a little bit more psychotic thrown in. But Alfie's a great guy, but there's definitely a wild child streak to him, and a little bit of a duality, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe that's my tarot card reading coming in again. I don't know, but he.
Well, he's one of the most hated characters,
character.
obviously, within the fan community. Him and Joffrey both are both like loathed on a daily basis within the Twitterverse, et cetera, et cetera. So
I have never seen anyone loathe so much as Joffrey.
I know.
In all
it's
the
amazing.
villains on TV, I have never witnessed anyone who wants to kill that poor kid more than Joffrey. And Jack, I know you're going to hear this time and time again, no matter who you interview. Jack's a great guy. He's not even a kid. Like, he was always a lovely kid. He's not a kid. He's a man, and he's a great man. He's a superb actor, and he's a really nice guy. And my God, he's going to have what do you call that soap? Dallas. You remember all the villains in the soap? The actresses who played them were sort of stoned in the streets and stuff. That's going to happen to him because of the public's inability to separate reality.
It's true though. Like for a lot of actors, when they take on one of these roles, it cements them in a lot of minds of the audience, and it does create challenges.
Same for me as well in Hodor. There's not a single day on Twitter. Now, I'm not literally. If I had $1 for every time I get asked, have you learned your lines yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That never gets old.
I don't respond. It does get old. I'm here to tell you. But, obviously I appreciate all the messages that people are, I'll just do my magnanimous standpoint here. But no, people are super cool, but that's probably the most important, that's probably the most popular question, I should say.
You know what if as a fan, and whenever, and as somebody that's kind of made videos and done a lot of these things, part of the experience in a lot of cases is the crew that you're working with, the other actors. It's a lot of fun. Could you describe maybe one of your favorite days on set from season 2?
From season 2,
or season 1, just maybe a favorite day on set.
No, which I sort of laughed at. You've seen the scene now, so I can obviously say it. It's when Theon's taking Winterfell, and we're all sort of stood there in the rain. That was real rain. I'm here to tell you, that was horrific. That was one of the worst days, honestly, but it was still enjoyable. We did it over 2 days, and the first day absolutely bucketed out of the heavens, and we came back to finish off the next day, and it was a beautiful day. And the next thing you see the rain machines coming out, and I was like, oh no, we're getting wet.
Isaac
the rain machine was. I was sort of slightly in the background, and the rain machine, I was just out of reach, and Isaac was right in front of me, and he was drowned, and I couldn't help laughing at him, and he didn't speak to me for the whole day because I continually laughed at him. So
they are marathon days too, right? Like you get up early, you're sitting around to your scene. Like these are marathon days they're pretty exhausting.
5 a.m. You get picked up at 5 a.m. I'm kind of known on set for my Red Bull addiction. I'll literally get the driver to stop, and I'll get like a fridge full of Red Bull. Because normally I'll be DJing the night before and I go straight there. So basically what I'm telling you is anytime you see me on screen, I'm unslept. So maybe that contributes to my brain deadness, I don't know. But yeah, it is intense. It's not glamorous in any way. But, you know, I can't wait to get back to it. I can't wait to see the crew. I can't wait to see the rest of the cast. I can't wait to see, you know what I mean? I can't wait. It's like a little family.
It takes on a life of its own after a while. I did a little theater when I was younger, and you just you become a little bit of a family and a community, and you do look forward to seeing them again. The adrenaline, everything else involved is makes it a really a lot of fun.
Every couple of days, and I would hear from Natalia occasionally, and Rickon and Art, not Rickon and Art, Rickon or Art, and his mom and stuff. It's like the little sort of groups on screen are actually friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all sort of work in our own little area on set, and we all sort of become quite close. Yeah. But especially, I think it is amazing. I would foster him if I could, but I think his parents would have something to say about that. There's laws against.
It's true, though. I mean, other people. It's like running a marathon as a team. Like, you just have this shared experience. That's, I mean, nobody can change that effectively.
Yeah, it becomes a life experience as well. So you're not just pretending. You know what I mean? It actually becomes a real life experience, and it's something you'll never forget.
Okay, so are you ready? We're going to do 5 questions with Kristian Nairn. Are you ready to go through these questions? And you don't have these questions already, right?
No, I was born ready though.
As few words as possible, unless it otherwise happens.
Yeah, unless you want to use more words than is possible.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go first. If you were George R.R. Martin, how would you kill Hodor?
I wouldn't.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Wonderful answer.
Okay.
We know that you're part of House Stark, so this is a question between the Lannisters and yourself, or your house, I should say. Who would win in a UFC-style match between Maester Luwin and Maester Pycelle? Who's the bigger ass kicker?
Luwin.
Don't be biased.
And would he win by submission or via strikes?
I think he knows more about the magic arts than he pretends.
I think Pycelle is not as feeble as he looks either, though.
Yeah, he was going balls deep.
Are you a Lannister fanboy by any chance?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's impossible.
Because that's going to affect the flavor of my answers.
Okay, if you could play any character other than Hodor, what character would it be?
The imp. No.
Well, that's not a bad answer. I mean, everyone loves Tyrion. I mean, they hate him until they love him, right? Mm-hmm.
No, obviously, he's not my favorite character, but I do think... I have a definite answer for this. Varys. Varys is my favorite character.
Oh, really?
I love Varys, yeah. I think he's incredible, and I think Conleth Hill is so much of the short answer. Conleth Hill is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does an awesome job. He really, I mean, he brings that role to life so well. I mean, really, I think it's amazing. I mean,
I think it's spellbinding. I don't want the scenes to end, to be honest. The interplay between him and Littlefinger and him and Tyrion is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree.
I love the little fish, or the fish scene where Tyrion threatened him to throw him overboard or whatever into the sea, and he's just like, the big fish ate the little fish, but I keep on paddling.
Yeah, exactly. And he just holds the door closed with his finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Unbelievable.
I mean, it's just such great nuance.
It is. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
We want you to finish this sentence. Hodor smash Little...
Lannister.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay, last question. So, last question. On looks alone, if George R.R. Martin wasn't a genius writer, would he be a tugboat captain?
Just wondering.
What?
On looks alone.
Yes.
Add a pipe. We got it. We got it.
Yeah, because it's a cap, and all I'm gonna in my mind now that cap has an anchor on it. And I don't think it ever did.
He's got. I mean, we've got to find out if he's got a tattoo anchor, a tattoo of an anchor somewhere on his arm.
Have you ever met George?
No.
I'm gonna tell him this the next time I see him, and I'm gonna tell you, man.
Tell him to send us an
You're
email.
in big trouble.
Well,
Okay. Oh, you would just love that, wouldn't you?
so Kristian, thanks so much for joining us and making the time and making this all work for today. This was a great interview, and we're big fans of you.
Very big.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
And if people want to follow you on Twitter, what's your Twitter handle?
It's just my name. It's Kristian Nairn. All one word.
Perfect. So if you'd like to follow Kristian, you can
Yep.
follow him at Kristian Nairn on Twitter. And you've got your website, which is the same, right?
KristianNairn.com. Yeah, and on Facebook, I'm just I accept everybody. I'm very accommodating that way.
And we were talking before, you got some new music coming out that's going to be available. When do you think you might have it ready?
Oh man, I'm a typical musician. How long is a piece of string? I do not know because I'm never happy. So I'm hoping within the next few months.
Now, I have one more little tiny question. Can people find you on World of Warcraft or Diablo 3?
Both.
Both. Awesome.
Both of them.
It confirms all my
playing
suspicions.
both. I'm definitely more of a Warcraft fan, but Diablo 3 is awesome.
Yeah.
So I would say for the next week or two, I'll be dabbling in both.
Great.
Perfect. Okay,
If you
Kristian.
want to come over, as I say, the guild is Winds of Winter, as in the new book, and we're on
Right.
Kil'jaeden Alliance. So if you just give someone a shout there, they'll get you sorted.
Sure. Are they both U.S. or?
Yeah, both US.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Kristian, thanks again, and best of luck in filming season 3.
Thanks so much, Kristian.
No problem. Take care.
Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Okay, so moving on, we that was an awesome interview, by the way.
That's great,
and
yeah.
What a great guy.
Good to hear from him.
Yeah, it's very cool.
You know, on all social media, Kristian Nairn has been probably the most accessible to fans that I've seen. It's great that he's done a number of interviews in the past. He's very willing. He'll game on you with World of Warcraft, Diablo 3. It's just seems to be a fantastic guy, well-rounded, and having a great time with all of it.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I and you just like the guy too. Like you, and when you got a character that only has that much dialogue, when he's a fun guy like that, it's the way the world's supposed to work.
And a testament to his skill too that he has a profound presence. I mean, one word dialogue with a great presence on screen and in the show and amongst the fans. So, cheers to Kristian Nairn. Thanks.
And he's
going
to be opening a dance studio in East LA.
Is he?
No.
Ballet.
No.
Excellent.
No, that would be awful.
Oh, I thought you said ballet. You said L.A.?
LA.
Oh, Los Angeles. Sorry,
Yeah.
my fault. I thought you said
Yeah.
ballet.
No, that would not be a good idea.
Well, listen, we do want to do a review here, get everybody prepped for this tonight's episode.
Yeah, tonight's episode is The Prince of Winterfell. Obviously, we've got a lot that's coming up. The quick things that we're gonna to run through we're looking at this episode is, something happening in Winterfell where basically either Theon's gonna live, die, or otherwise.
Right.
We've got Jon Snow and Ygritte that are, is he gonna sink the pink?
Well, he was left captured. George R. R. Martin is very well known for killing off major characters. Why wouldn't he kill off Jon Snow?
Yeah.
Jon Snow he has entered the Frostfangs. He has, he's not connected to what's going on in Winterfell. Why not kill him off? It's been done before. Why are we to believe it wouldn't happen now?
Exactly.
With Theon, though, I think there was a question about burning,
kids.
really burning Rickon and Bran. There's a great comment. El Pico 310 just mentioned that he just doesn't believe that it could be. Could be them. He suspects it's somebody else. I like that. I like he's questioning it. He's suspicious of them. I would tend to say, why not, though? In the same line of Jon Snow, why not? George R. R. Martin's very well known for doing this, and this was a harsh world. Westeros is a harsh place to be.
Yeah, I think the storylines that I'm most interested in is what's going to happen with Daenerys, and is she going to go to the House of the Warlocks or the House of the Undying?
Because that's got some awesome content.
Yeah,
we won't
really
spoil
cool.
anything, but
and
it was great.
obviously Stannis and his ships. They're gonna be heading towards King's Landing. I mean, maybe it's not going to happen in the next episode, but that is going to go down. So,
well, Joffrey and Sansa. I mean, the last we know, Sansa flowered. That was apparently the next step was supposed to be children and marriage. So, what's going to happen there? Can you really conceivably see these two together. And how abusive would a relationship like that be, Curtis?
Absolutely.
We just have Robb Stark, I think. Karstark, Lord Karstark raised quite a fuss in the last episode. If Robb returns this episode, how is he going to deal with that kind of what was called treason in the time?
Well, and I mean, guy loses his son. He wants a little payback. So we won't.
Just a couple. I just wanted to bring up a couple comments, referring to a couple people.
And it is Sheldon that's kind of responding to people's comments. So please keep those coming. They're awesome.
S McGilvery1, you'll see me on YouTube. I try to stay involved in your discussion and your comments online. So keep them coming. We do appreciate it. If you're interested in commenting, you can go to youtube.com/socialpixels. All one word, and leave your comments there. All our videos are available there. You can also go to HTTP, of course, www.gameofthronestv.
No, just gameofthronestv.tumblr.com.
gameofthronestv.tumblr.com. And you can follow the discussion almost any given day at Social Pixels TV. So I just want to throw a shout out to El Picos 310, of course. Scott T248 continues to comment. We really appreciate that. And he corrected us, actually myself, on the name of the masked woman in Karth, and it's actually Quaith, not Mizzy Mazdur. So I apologize for that, and thanks again, Scott, for that comment. You haven't seen me right. Brought up some spicy juice on the old Gregor Clegane. His real name is Conan, and he's actually starring in a role in Spartacus and The Hobbit. So
he's a monster too.
He's a monster too. He had to leave, and thanks a lot for you haven't seen me right for that comment. Pissed Fechtmeister made a good observation about Arya not being under suspicion from Tywin. I'm going to lay this to rest because he did mention there's a very good point that there's a ton of families out there, noble families. She could be from any one of them. Why would he suspect she was Arya Stark? So I'll put it to rest. I won't mention it again. Thanks for that. Scoob Ninelinger, I just wanted to say, made a good point that the Hound really doesn't like Joffrey as more than he actually is attracted to Sansa Stark. So I think it was more like a protective kind of feeling he had for her. I don't know if I ever thought it was a sexual attraction to Sansa. I think it was just more very protective.
There's something there.
Affectionate.
There's something there.
Yep. But I think you made a great point that Ninelinger, that he really does just, or 91linger, sorry, that he really does just hate Joffrey himself, and that's starting to show. Lastly, just guys, Mentor 890, Curtis and I have noted the comment, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much for the constructive feedback.
We're gonna try and go a little deeper, a little more in depth with our post show review. That's gonna happen at
it's gonna be at 11 p.m. You can
on Sunday.
Yeah, we broadcast live every Sunday, 8:30. We have our pre-show, our epic pre-show for Game of Thrones. We'll get you prepared for the episode that evening. This week is episode 8, of course. And you can catch us afterwards where we do some review and analysis, and that's at 11 p.m. So we can get ourselves prepared here and maybe have another glass of wine. Yep. And you can catch us live then as well. So thank you very much, everybody, for the comments. Keep them coming. You can find us almost anywhere now, and now you know where to do that.
And keep watching Game of Thrones. We'd be fools not to ride this crazy torpedo out to the end.
Absolutely. And if you are on our YouTube channel, can you please, if you are interested and want to follow us, can you subscribe to the channel as well if you're interested? Okay. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. And without further ado,
Don Cut.
I'm Sheldon McGilvery.
And I'm Curtis Hollister.
And we'll see you again.